بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما تعلمنا وزدنا بفضلك علما وتعليما إنك على كل شيء قدير. So continuing with the essence of men and women, we've looked at the language that we use to describe men and women. What is the essence then from an Islamic point of view of a man and a woman? The essence of a human being is that they are a spiritual being. This is the essence of them. Okay, the essence of the human being is that they are a spiritual being. What does that actually mean, though, to be a spiritual being? Does that mean that you're a soul? And if you're a soul, what's that got to do with your body? And isn't sexuality part of your body? The answer is a spiritual being is a contextualizing being, a being that can look at things and see them in the big picture. It can see the big picture and the bigger picture behind that picture and the ultimate picture behind that, right? قُلِ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي. The soul, الروح, the spirit, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, is of the matter of Allah, is of the big picture. So what it does is it locates itself in that context. Right? It locates itself. It sees Allah, and puts everything into that funnel and makes sense of things. What's war? What's love? What's poverty? What's wealth? What's health? The situation, what's this sound? I hear a sound, I feel something, I taste something. What does this mean? What's the big picture? That's the spiritual being. That's what we are. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, it is not the eyes that are blind. Your inability to intuit things, your inability to make sense of things is not that you're blind with your eyes, but rather it is the hearts and the chest that are blind. Right? So this word soul, we can also call it the heart, which is the qalb in Arabic. Qalb in Arabic is a verbal noun. It's a process. Qalb means turning something over, changing something, flipping something. Right? So you look at something and you transfer it into its reality. That's the qalb. Somebody who has a qalb, they see, they intuit, they can translate, they can read, they can put into perspective. Somebody who doesn't have a heart, they see the wall. There's a cat. I'm overweight. I'm sad. Everybody hates me. Everybody likes me. I'm wealthy. They don't. What does that mean, though? What's the significance of it? The qalb puts it into the big picture. What does this mean? Where am I in my life? Where am I going? Where did I come from? Who is my creator? What is my purpose? What does this mean? What is this thing that's happening? The phenomena that are happening in front of me, what do they mean in respect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in terms of my relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? What is this huge communication, right? Just as an example of with literacy, right? I remember being a little kid and seeing the word Allah written in Arabic calligraphy. And I remember, some alifs, for example, they look a bit like a sword. So I remember seeing a sword, right? So that's illiteracy. Like you don't even know, you're not even beginning to read things. You don't see it as a symbol that indicates a sound, that indicates part of a complex sound, which indicates a meaning, right? That's what the alif does, right? An alif is an image that indicates a sound, which is part of a complex sound, Allah, which indicates a meaning. And that meaning is extremely profound. So you can't see the profound meaning, nor can you even see, all you can see is a sword. So this person is lost, right? And that's obviously the nature of a kid, like you don't see things in the big picture. And so the soul, this is what we are, with the ability to intuit, to put into context, to understand, to contextualize. You're a contextualizing being. So what you do then is you get the things around you, the complex things around you, and you contextualize them. So that's what it means to be a spiritual being. And so there is a false and vile dichotomy, which is what? Things are either spiritual or physical. Right? So for example, eating food is physical. Prayer is spiritual. It's not true. It's not true at all. So in the Islamic paradigm, things are spiritually physical. So prayer is a physical activity. Eating is a physical activity. Right? It becomes spiritually physical when you connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in prayer. It becomes a spiritual activity when you connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in eating. So it is not A or B. It is B in the context of A. Totally different. So the dunya, when you say this is a worldly thing, this is a low thing, right? Material thing, right? This is, what does it mean? Dunya is not a place. Nor is it a thing. Oh, you have lots of money. That's dunya. All she cares about is are her shoes. That's dunya. Right? Or activity. All you care about is eating. All you care about is talking. All you care about is intimacy. That's all you think about. You're obsessed with these things. Right? An activity. So dunya is not an activity, nor is it a thing, nor it is a place. But rather it's a mindset. How do you look at that thing? Do you look at that thing and put it in the fuller context, or do you not? Right? So dunya then is a myopia, a spiritual myopia, a short-sightedness. You can't see things. Right? You get really, really close to the screen and you can't even see what's on the screen. And then you zoom back and you still can't read it. And if you read it, you don't understand what's being said at all. And if you understood what was being said, you wouldn't understand what that means in the big picture. Or the bigger picture. You're just myopic. Right? You can't see anything. A spiritual illiteracy. You can't read things. You don't see things in the big picture. And this is extremely important when we talk about sexuality and intimacy, is that there are so many people, obviously because it's so, there are so many perversions of these things and so many different things that they can't put it in the big picture. They don't see things in the big picture. Right? They might think, for example, prayer is good, intimacy is bad, because one thing is spiritual, one thing is physical, right? It's not like that at all. It's not like that at all. So this is a false and vile dichotomy. Why? Because it separates so many aspects of our life from being spiritual. It makes Allah cornered to one particular thing, which is Friday when you pray, which is Hajj, which is Ramadan. Otherwise, Allah is not part of your life. Allah is not part of your life. That's why it's false and vile. Right? Allah is not part of your intimacy. It's not part of your sexuality. Right? Whereas Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with you in every single place, time, aspect, thing of your life, because He is the context of your life. And when you don't see Him as the context of your life, it's very rude. It's a level of kufr, right? It's a level of kufr. It's not kufr, I'm not saying it's disbelief, but it's a level of kufr, right? So in Islam, we talk about gender identity, a spiritual gender identity, meaning I am male, I am female, vis-a-vis in relationship to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah made me like this. Allah made me like this. Right? Sexuality. These are my inclinations. This is my behavior in a spiritual sense. Right? So it is not that it's something other than spirituality. It is not something that is other than spirituality, because spirituality is the ability to contextualize and see things and do things in that big context. So gender identity and sexuality contextualized in the context of the creative act of a cherishing personal God. Allah is talking to you. Allah is interacting with you right now in the things around you. With your soul, you can interact with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a profound way through these things. You have to do it in a halal way, and you have to see the picture, right? So what does that mean then? It means that being a sexual being, which is part of what we are in a second, does not mean you're not a religious being. It's not two different things at all. That is part of your spiritual being. And so with context, when you put things in the context with the right lens, there's no conflict between religion and sexuality. Religion is the context for sexuality. So it's not A or B, it is B through A. And so the materialist or the myopic standpoint says, no, you're just a financial being, right? You're just a financial being. That's all you are. All you are is a financial being. Your purpose in life is to go to school to get a job, and to go to college to get a job, and to get a job to get a job, to get money, and then you have a house which is worth something, right? So 2 books, right, that represent, well, not 2 books represent this, but many, many things represent this. Metamorphosis, right? Metamorphosis of Kafka, right? If this man, he loses his job, stops making money, you're now a cockroach, you're nothing now. So essentially, when you stop making money, you are nothing. That's all you are. All you are is a money maker. Your education is only useful in as much as it gets a job. And you will see this, right? Go to this college 100% employment. Is education about money? Yes, education is about money. Why? Why is education about money? I thought it was about education, right? I want to become a doctor. Why do you want to become a doctor? Oh, they make tons of money. It's a stable job, right? So your worth is only money in the context of money. That's all it is. You're this tall, you're this short, you're really good looking, wow, you're really ugly, you're worthless, look at yourself in the mirror, go on crazy diets, you're everything, your physical being. That's all you are. All you are is your physical being. So your physical being in the context of a physical being. Political being in the context of that's it. All it is about power. All it is about your sexuality and your sexual behavior and what you do and what you don't do, right? All it is about intellectual things in the context of intellectual. Wow, you're really intelligent. That doesn't mean anything. So intelligence for the point of being intelligent. Writing for the sake of writing is not a thing. Art for the sake of art, right? This is the materialist. This is the myopic. You're stuck in a corner. You're stuck in a corner of this very limited thing. The soul is choked by this. The Islamic standpoint is very different. You are a financial being. You've got to go out there and make money. You have to pay for things, right? You have financial obligations. You have to support yourself. You have to support other people. In the context of Allah, your personal creating God who was with you hand in hand the whole way. So it is not your value is making money, nor is it the opposite, don't make money. Okay, do I make money or do I not make money? I don't get it. You make money, and you have to make money, and you have to work, and it's important to do these things, but it's in the context of you were born, you have a creator, he's helping you, he's responsible for the payments, you're not responsible, you just have to put in the effort, you're going to die, and it's all a test. It's not something sort of in of itself. Physical being, you're super good looking, it's a blessing from Allah. You have a physical disability that makes it very, very, you have a problem. It's a test from Allah. It's all a test. It's going to be over very soon and you're going to be amazing in a second. Don't worry about it. In Jannah, you'll all be beautiful. Don't worry about it. But right now, you're in a very difficult situation. Political being, I'm in prison for no reason. I have no power. I have all the power in the context of Allah. I'm imprisoned. Allah has allowed this to happen to test me. Allah has put me in power. Allah is testing me like this. Right? So you don't come along and say, I'm not a political being. You are a political being. Or Islam has nothing to do with politics. Or Islam has nothing to do with physicality. We're going to talk later on about these things. It's important. Or Allah has nothing to do with your sexuality or your sexual activity. But it's sexual activity in the context of Allah, my creator, the one who's looking after me, the one who's talking to me every single moment of my life. He's talking to me through every single thing that he sends to me. intellectual being, artistic being, every single thing. Art, Islamic art is not Islamic art if it's not in the context of Allah, if it doesn't reflect of Allah, if it's not an expression of the artist trying to express their love of Allah, their appreciation of Allah, their fear of Allah, etc. So if it's not an expression of that relationship, it doesn't mean anything. It's pointless. So it is not A or B. It's not Islam or money, Islam or politics. Should I be an imam or should I be a politician? That's not how it works. That's how it works in the modern world, because we've made it myopic. We made it you're in sections. You're only worth something because of your sexuality. You're only worth something because you're the politician. You're only worth something. That's not true. We say all of these things and other things, but in the context of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So here's a hadith, for example, that gives that example. So the Prophet ﷺ, he said, he who eats and is grateful is like the person who patiently fasts. So eating is a spiritual act. How? So yeah, because if you're grateful and you're connected to Allah, I'm looking at the donut in the context of, here I am. I'm being created by Allah. I'm giving a digestive system by Allah. I'm giving the ability. I have teeth. I'm safe. I have the ability to eat this thing. I can enjoy it. It's so nice. Allah is happy with me when I eat it, and I'm grateful to Him, and He wants to give me even more, and I'm super beaming happy. So the donut is no longer a donut. Now it's a Kaaba. And the Kaaba is not a Kaaba if you just see it as a brick. So spirituality is not an activity, it is not a place, it is not a thing. Spirituality is the ability to contextualize things. That's what it is. Do you see this whole thing in the context of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or not? Where is your heart vis-a-vis that thing, that activity? A Porsche is not dunya. The way you look at a Porsche is dunya. So, what is a human being? Are you a financial being? Yes. Are you a physical being? Yes. Are you a political being? Yes. Are you a sexual being? Yes. Are you an intellectual being? Yes. Are you an artistic being? Yes. Are you many other things? Yes. Okay, well, isn't it? So when are you objectified then? You're objectified when you look at that person. You are only worth your calorific value. Meaning, I want you to eat as much as humanly possible because I'm going to burn you alive and see how much calories you can make. That's objective. I'm looking at your pure calories in your body. Okay? Or I'm interested in only how much money you could make for me. That's all I'm interested in. This college will accept you because you will make this college money. That's why you're here. You're being hired because you'll make money for us. Right? That's objectified now. You're being looked at that one angle. Or when society or you look at things, you're only impressed with things because they're expensive. Right? I like that bag because it costs $4,000. Right? Or you look at things, for example, as this person is only interesting because they're attractive. They're only interesting because they do this kind of behavior on TV. They're only attractive because they've done this, because they're famous for this. They're only worth something. That's called objectified, right? So it is not true to come along and say, hey, I'm not a sexual being, don't objectify me. Hey, I'm not a financial being, I'm not a physical being, I'm not a this and none of that. That's not true. But rather we say, you are a financial being, you're a physical being, you're a political being, you're a sexual being, you're an intellectual being, you're an artistic being, you're this, you're this, you're this, you're this, all in the context of Allah. Allah has something to say about all of these things. I'm going to interact with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's a divine interaction. Right? Your divine interaction. So every single action that you do on all these different levels and other levels are all interactions, divine interactions from Allah to Allah. From Allah to Allah. Allah is sending you things, you're sending messages back. And then the gap gets thinner and thinner and thinner until what? So wherever you turn your face, there is the face of Allah. Right? What did Ibn Abbas, the Prophet ﷺ, tell Ibn Abbas? Ihfaz Allah tajidhu tujahak. right? Ihfadillah, look out for Allah. Connect with Allah in all these aspects of your life. The way you park your car, the way you send your email, the way you interact with your colleague, every single thing, and you'll find Allah in front of you. Right? So wherever you turn your face, every single facet of your life, every single aspect of your life, you're dealing with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you are all of these things. It is not that you are none of these things, but you are all of these things in the context of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.